Hey y'all, welcome back. So what we have here is the first addition to my Essential Champions series now that I'm done going through each of the 6 classes. So as you can see, I've compiled them all into this spreadsheet here, which I will link in the description for anyone who wants to look at it. And we have the 3 tiers here, right? If skill is confusing anyone, I recommend you just go and view that video. The playlist will also be linked in the description because that kind of explains that. But italicized are champions that have overlap with others next to them, and like Venom or Venompool, and bolded champions are ones that I have added since the last thing went out. We don't really need to talk too much about the ones in the honorable mention or here bronze tier, but I went ahead and added Howard, King Groot, Longshot, and Dragon Man based on people reaching out and saying, "What about these? These seem like really solid to me. I use them a ton, my alliance uses them." A lot of those comments were from lower tier alliances, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those champions aren't every bit as good as those people think they are. Sometimes people, figure things out at that level and it slowly trickles up. So I'm very much keeping my eye on those 4. But the important one to talk about now is Symbiote Supreme, because I have moved him up into my silver tier here, the nice to haves. For those of you who watched the Mystic video, you may remember that I went out of my way to say that while many of the other Mystics I put in the last tier were unproven, Symbiote Supreme was not unproven. It was simply that his day was past, and he was too narrow, too niche, and despite the fact that he was good for a couple bosses, one of which was still relevant in Magneto, he just didn't hold up anymore. Not only is he an excellent option for the Magneto boss that we're seeing so much of right now with High Ground, and also for the Nova that I've seen from a few alliances, but a little less often, he's also not that hard to path. And I just kind of underestimated that aspect of him. So in the first war of the season, I soloed our Magneto boss with Hercules. I did quite a bit of prep for that, quite a bit of analysis of Magneto's AI, trying to make sure all of my openings were clean and safe, and I wasn't just kind of YOLOing it, hoping the intercepts worked out. And I was extremely happy with how well it went. But coming out of that, I actually made the comment in our battle group chat that I consider Symbiote Supreme to be even safer. We can have that discussion elsewhere, but the point remains that he is at least a very good option for that boss. And when I mentioned that, a member of our battle group, Tafre, who has done incredible Apocalypse and Archangel work for us over the last few seasons, got really excited and said, "Actually, I have a rank 2 6-star Symbiote Supreme. I've been looking for an excuse to rank 3. He's one of my favorite champions in the game. Can we give it a go?" And so we did, and we assigned it. I just kind of figured that we would work it in by the end of the season. But funnily enough, it just worked out both for paths and for the boss the very next war, and Tafre crushed it. So we're going to talk for just a second about why Symbiote Supreme is so strong in ways that work both along paths and for the boss, and then we're going to look at a couple fights. So the real strength of his kit is right here at the end. When he throws his special 3, he turns on all of his genetic blessings. So all of his special attacks, mainly the special 2, get all of the benefits of each of his blessings. For those of you who are more familiar with Doctor Strange, this would be like if he had all 3 of his up at once, or if you play Sorcerer Supreme, this is kind of like if she has all of her runes banked at once. And if you look back up at the special 2, you see just how strong that is. Each hit has a 100% chance to place a quite significant armor break on the opponent. Each hit places a weakness, making him that much harder to kill, and each hit steals 15% of the opponent's max power, meaning that over the course of the special 2, you can get back about a bar and a half. You combine that with power back boosts, and if it does any damage at all, which, given the armor breaks, it probably is, you can just chain special twos, and sometimes, if you get good crits, chain special twos back into special threes, setting you back up from the beginning. And what this means is that once Symbiote Supreme throws his first special three, the fight's usually kind of over. Now, like I said, those of us who've been playing for a while knew how strong this was in certain places. He used to be far and away the best answer for the champion as a boss in Alliance War when that was a competitive pick. But where I was wrong is just in assuming that it was difficult to get him to the boss node, that he would kind of be deadweight along the way. And so we're going to show two of Tafre's fights here that prove that he is absolutely not deadweight, and he's actually a pretty quick option in these days of fight time mattering. I will not be showing you the actual boss fight in this video, and that's because, like I said, that isn't really the point of his promotion. The point of the promotion is how easy it is to get him to the boss. But if you want to see just how good that boss fight is, I will also link my fellow officer Campo's YouTube channel, because Tafre sent him the footage for his recent war video, and you definitely want to check that out. So first off, we have Tigra on Arc Overload and Vigorous Assault, that first node on Path 1 in Tier 1. It's a very common placement for her, and we usually just send Doom like everyone does, because he handles the scary parts of this node, the parts that make her unblockable and make you have to dance and potentially get backed up, really, really well. What you're going to see in this fight is that Symbiote Supreme also does. And Tafre's getting some good luck on the staggers here with his basic attacks, which is also, like with Doom staggers, getting rid of the unblockable part of Tigra's specials and making it that much safer to fight her. So that was all preamble. Now he's got the special 3 up. He throws this. It does a decent amount of damage on its own, thanks to the Fury. But the important part is that it also consumes that genetic potential because he activated blessings, and so he got that burst of power right away, and that let him throw his special 2. He got those bleeds going. Even if that hadn't killed her, if she had then thrown a special, it would have triggered another stagger, that would have fed Mystic Dispersion, Tafre just could have stepped back into another special, and that would have ended the fight. So this is Path 2B, the new Strike Counter Block Penetration node, and we have House of X here. And I'm quite sure that the reason Magneto House of X is here is not only because he's a high ground defender, but because Apocalypse is such a common attacker on this lane because of his immunity to Disorient. And indeed, that is who Tafre used for the first node on this path. But Magneto is not the best matchup for Apocalypse, but he gains buffs and therefore is a fantastic matchup for Symbiote Supreme. Also notice that he blocked that sometimes very scary special 1 and took no damage. Symbiote Supreme is also quite tanky, gets a stagger going after the special 3, throws that special 2, and like we said, Power Back took him right back up to the special 3. So we get another one of these going. You could have boosted a little lighter here and just chained the special 2s, but I believe Tafre was also boosting for the boss to get ready for that, and so he had all the power he needed. Now, this is much easier when the opponent has buffs, and that was always the old knock on Symbiote Supreme. But the thing is, these days, there just are a lot of champions, even outside of the Cosmic class, with buffs native to their kit. There are more relevant Cosmic defenders. There are a lot of nodes that apply active buffs. I don't really need to stress the importance of that because that's why Doom, Claire, Sorcerer, Diablo, even Tigra, all of those top Mystic attackers, that's why they're so good, is because they have power control and buff control. And as we just went over, Symbiote Supreme still holds his own against those. He has the buff control, he has the power control, and this is without the dupe. The dupe places staggers as you go, which actually makes him even stronger. All in all, I'm not putting him in my gold tier, my tier 1 of must-haves, But after these last couple wars, because Tofre also took the boss in this last war, War 3, and soloed that as well, I think it's definitely safe to say that he is a nice to have. He makes planning easier, it's something that we don't have to worry about, and it's been working out really, really well for us. So to Symbiote Supreme, I'm sorry I doubted you, and welcome to Tier 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for watching. As always, please leave a comment. I'd love to have discussions about these champions, any other champions that you think deserve promotions, or you can tell me I'm crazy for doing this one. Either way, if you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all next time. Take care.